If your enterprise is tolerating bad managers and you're the leader, who is really the bad manager? It may be you. In this quick video, I'm going to tell you about a bad manager who faced his challenge with courage and salvaged a win. If you want to download the foundational paper, What Employees Want and Why It Matters, click below. Now let's get back to the story. Years ago, when I was a wine executive with a team of expert specialists, we kicked off a luxury program of high-end wines that on the average were 10 times to 50 times the profit of the average case that was going out the door. There was a manager in a smaller market that didn't like the program, and unbeknownst to me, he was creating a parallel process with his team, or what you might say, going rogue. He sent an email to his team telling them to ignore any and all messages from this team of experts. He had a different set of priorities that he needed to bring forward, which was the everyday lower end wines. Now, what happened to the team was they were passionate about the program, and the manager underestimated that they would have enough passion that they would send his email outlining his instructions to ignore the program, and instead they sent it to my office. Well, here we had a problem with a manager going rogue and not following the statewide initiative. Instead of doubling down on him or making him wrong, we decided to invest and get this guy turned around. What was he exhibiting? Well, in the paper, our foundational paper, What Employees Want and Why It Matters, there's two elements employees are looking for: autonomy and belonging. So this manager forgot that his team knew the marketplace. If he had given them the autonomy to simply do their job, they could both have introduced this really cool luxury program and tasted them on some wines that normally sat in the warehouse just aging. They could have tasted them and made sales there, as well as getting those lower end everyday wines. So he did not see that autonomy would have fulfilled his goal. Secondly, belonging. This team was dying to get in good graces with their buyers, who were trend-setting restaurants and specialty retail shops that were looking for global, esoteric, cool wines. And instead of buying them from our company, they were going to the competition. So we were also losing market share. So again, kind of a double whammy. The manager blew it on autonomy and belonging. When we invested in him, the first thing that we looked at was getting him a coach so that he could see that his fixed mindset was missing the mark and that his team wasn't respecting and appreciating his goals, and he wasn't appreciating theirs. We also spent time as a leadership team to get in alignment. Our initiative was great, but we needed to align the manager's goals also so that everybody was participating and being in the incentive. Now that sounds really easy, right? But I would tell you that as we coach teams around the world, aligning goals is a very big miss that happens all the time. Now, he had a coach, he had a growth mindset, he went back to his team, they started collaborating and finding ways to not only get to know the market better, but also each other. The last thing we did with this manager was to help him change his orientation. He had gotten this promotion because he was an outstanding individual player. And as he became a manager, he kept his orientation in portrait mode. And that means that it was all about me, my goals, what's important to me. And we helped him open that aperture of his lens of how he looked at his team and the world, moved it into landscape. Now, one thing that happens when you're in landscape, you can't know everything. So you need to learn a new language. And it's, I don't know everything. I want to access my curiosity and to be curious with customers, with team, with wine suppliers. He just expanded his capacity and his leadership by opening himself up to not knowing and being curious. So if you are interested in investing in your team and managers and leaders saying, we don't want any more of this for our employees. In 2022, we want great managers. We're willing to invest. And what's the payoff for us? Employees that stay longer, that are innovative, collaborative, and team players. And the other thing is, it helps promote good mental health and good physical health. We don't tolerate bad pilots or awful surgeons. Too many people would die too soon. But we do tolerate bad managers, and they impact our mental and physical health. Let's let 2022 be the year where you leaders say, no more bad managers. We're going to invest and make sure that we create great managers in our organization that will promote mental and physical health, and you will have innovative, creative, and productivity off the charts. Download our foundational paper, What Employees Want and Why It Matters. Click below.